Welcome everybody and welcome to today's pick a card, which is part of the spooky series. For those of you who are new here, throughout all of the month of October I'm going to release some Halloween/Samhain theme videos like I did last year, and today's reading is all about the energies, spirits or entities inside of your home, whether this is yours or the home of somebody else that you know, or a haunted location that you're thinking about and that you're wishing to investigate more into. And today is a timeless reading as well, so this could also be talking about your childhood home if you are setting your intention on something like that. So today we're going to do some spirit work together, and it's something that I'm so excited about, you guys. I was so excited to do this reading today because diving into the occult and diving into paranormal types of stuff is one of the things I love the most about being a practicing witch. So I'm going to host a seance today by opening up the space for those entities to come through the cards today, and I'm also going to be using an EVP app on this old phone that I've kept. And for those of you who don't know how EVP works, EVP basically stands for electronic voice phenomenon. So in ghost hunting, the theory goes that spirits can use their energy to electronically manipulate objects to either recreate the sound of a voice or to either interfere with radio signals to try to communicate. Or in this case, in the app that I will be using today, it's from a bank of words that the spirit will be able to select from. And no matter if you personally believe in that or not, I would say take the words that are coming up in your EVP reading today as a grain of salt. I just thought that it would be a fun instrument to interpret my messages through, kind of like oracle cards, you know. Oracle cards, they sometimes provide words or short sentences to try to communicate an idea, and I will be using the EVP app in the same context today. So I will be using it just like any other divinatory tool. So I hope that you are prepared for this reading psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, because I'm filming this intro after I've done all of the readings, and so I already know the intensity of the energies that came through in today's reading. And I also want to precise before I start that this reading is not for people who don't know if their house is haunted. Okay, this reading is for people who actually have experienced paranormal activities inside of their home, or that know that there is something supernatural about that place. So we're going into the real stuff. So on that, if you're ready, let's go to the pile selection. Welcome, Pile 1, into this sacred space that I created for you today to feel safe while we connect to the spirits, entities, or energies within the location that you are thinking about, whether this is your home, the home of someone else that you know, just a piece of land, or maybe a haunted location that you have in mind. So I have safely opened up to the space for communication with these energies in here today, wherever it may be, and we are going to check in together how you may equip yourself to deal with these energies or even help them if possible, and if this is something that you have the energy to do. Now, at any given moment, if you feel scared, if you feel fragile, I want you to click out of the video, because I already know, okay, I have been able to sense it, that some of the piles today are going to be heavier than others. And since I am experienced with that, I'm not afraid. But please take your own well-being into consideration first, because at the end of the day, you are the one living, all right? And so this means that you have to take care of your own self first, okay? So how this reading is going to work today is that we're going to take a look first at the energy present inside of the location that you are thinking about, and the story that is behind those energies, whatever it may be. Then in the second section of the reading with these cards over here, I'm going to take a look at this energy's intention and why they are still around. And then finally, in the last section of the reading, I'm going to pull some extra cards on camera to see how you guys may deal with this energy, pile one. Now, at the end of the reading, I'm also going to take a look at the list of words that you will have received with the EVP app that I'm going to keep open the whole time during the reading. And I might make some comments about the words that come up as we go along, but I'm going to try not to so much because I don't want this to distract me from the reading. But I'm mainly going to look at the list of words you guys will have received at the end to see if some extra messages are coming through. And if some of you are curious to know about how the EVP app works, I explained it in the intro of the video. So let's start first with an incantation and prayer, pile one, and then I'm going to start the EVP, and we are going to dive into the first section of your reading where we are going to take a look at the energy inside of your location and a history behind it. And this prayer, by the way, is going to be in my mother's tongue because that's how I communicate with the realm of spirits. Esprit, permettez-moi de naviguer à travers votre monde et de revenir sous votre protection. Et à ceux qui me voudront du mal, lancez-leur ce sort. Devant lui, les habitants du désert fléchiront le genou, et ses ennemis lâcheront la poussière. So we are starting with Andrew came across a horrid secret in Adela's diary. We've got my curiosity piqued already. And then we have Ambrose took an overdose of sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla? I'm not sure I pronounced that right, I'm sorry. Then we have change. Then we have discernment. Then we have the world. And we have the Ace of Swords reversed. I feel the need to take a deep breath. I'm feeling some anxiety around that pile for some reason. Now, there is definitely the presence of a spirit that is coming through strongly with this pile. We've got your first word, million. All right. Right as I was talking about this, we've got your first word. So yeah, there's definitely the presence of a spirit that is coming through strongly with this pile. One above all else. This definitely feels like a male presence to me, like not very old, but like not very young either. Maybe that this is a middle-aged man. And of course, it's going to vary from person to person, you guys, and the core story behind it may remain the same, but there's definitely a male spirit coming through to me for some of you. And what is coming through strongly here right away about the spirit inside of your home, Pawan, is that I feel that whatever happened to them, this wasn't an accident, like especially with this card of discernment here to come through and this Ace of Swords reversed there. Like, this just didn't happen on a whim. It wasn't a misfortune. It feels almost thought through, like premeditated, chosen, like this person perhaps made a decision, like someone here ended their own life. Like this Ace of Swords reverse is showing me how this person felt like there was no other solution or no other choice or no other way. And it feels like whatever happened to them before that is basically that's the way that they chose to deal with the shock of not being able to like unsee it. It's a choice that was to their advantage. Wow. Okay. So this spirit just corrected me right now. Like, it's a choice that was made for their advantage. It's like it's the choice that they made from not being able to change a past that was written because of this diary here on a card of Andrew. Not being able to get the new start, a new start in their life because of both this World card and the Ace of Swords reversed. And they are showing me with this World card and this Ace reversed that when they ended things, what they actually wanted was for some sort of contract to end or some sort of karmic tie to cut. Like, I wonder if this person suffered from psychological issues, maybe that they were struggling with addiction as well, with this card of Ambrose who had an overdose. It says here rat. Like, this could have been rat poison or something like that. Like, I'm just, wow, okay. But I feel for sure this person was carrying a lot mentally and emotionally, but I also feel that something in their life may have happened abruptly to be the trigger of that. I'm saying that because of this card. Andrew discovered a horrid secret in Adela's diary, right? So this feels like something horrible happened and took them by surprise. Like, this card is giving me a shock feeling, like this was a shock almost. And I truly wonder if I should say it, but I feel that some of you knew this individual. Like, I feel that not all of you, obviously, but some of you knew this individual here. Maybe even that they're that with this message, like discovering a horrid secret, maybe that some of you discovered the body. And I'm so sorry if that's the case. I'm so sorry. I feel like taking a moment of silence here because I'm becoming emotional. Suicide is something very personal to me, as a lot of you may know, and I had to really prepare for this reading today because I knew that something of the sort will come through. Like, I feel that some of you who knew this individual, this was a very traumatic experience, and all that you want now is to be able to find rest and find peace. It could have also been like an accidental overdose, but with this card here, but I don't know why, but somehow to me this feels like someone made a choice. Like, they made a difficult choice. It was a choice very difficult to accept for their loved ones, but that's the only way out of the pain that they saw in the moment, right? Like, this person was really, really suffering, and all that they wanted was for all of this to stop, but they didn't want to hurt anybody. So maybe that certain spiritual phenomenons that you cannot explain started to occur not too long ago after their passing around you or in your home, or around the location where it happened. And it's because there was a powerful emotional charge that created this haunting, basically. Maybe that those manifestation or paranormal phenomenon had to do with warmth as well, because I just saw quickly in your list of words that it said heaven and then it said warmth. So I'm not sure if something at home could have happened with the heat going crazy, or maybe your oven starting on its own, or maybe things burning very quickly in the oven, maybe that a fire almost got started or something like that. These could have been like spiritual phenomenons that you have experienced previously. But I also feel that this spirit is trying to reach for your attention, Pile 1. Even if you didn't know this person, maybe that they know that you are the one that can see them. And I feel that this is a very active spirit. Like, they keep communicating to me here. And it's pretty rare, by the way, that I get as much words. Like, and we just started your reading. So I feel like they are very communicative. They must be a very active spirit in your home. And do you see all of that wind on that card of change here? And as well with this card of discernment here, where the little girl is kind of like blocking her own mouth, blocking her own eyes, blocking her own ears. I feel like for you, Pal One, it's not a small thing. Like, you may not be wondering to yourself, oh, did I really see that? Like, no, you really know what you saw. Like, you cannot unsee what you saw or unhear what you've heard. Like, this person is making themselves very known and very evident to you. Like, they're very convincing. And it's because they're trying to reach out for your attention, I feel. And that's what I saw with this Ace of Swords reversed here. It's almost like they are coming from the other side, wingling that sword, like, hey, I'm here, I'm still around. Like, this spirit can see you very clearly. And some of you may have been able to see it back as well, or at the very least sense their presence, because to me, their presence feels like a gush of wind with this card of change here. It's easy to discern when they're active, but going back to that particular spirit though, yeah, see circuit, like I was saying earlier, like warmth, oven, stuff like that. Maybe that you've got problems with your circuit of electricity or something like that. That's a weird part of the message here coming up. But going back to that particular spirit, there is some heavy charge of desperation, I feel, surrounding their act and surrounding their last moment. I wonder if something happened where it may have triggered this sense of desperation in them, but it's almost like they didn't have a choice, like they were cornered. And I also feel that they did everything that they did just to get by, including that relief that they just wanted. Do you see this circle around the woman on a card of the world here? It's like she's bound there by that parameter. Almost something about their energy couldn't be cut loose or couldn't be free. It's like a part of them is still trapped here energetically. It's trapped by this unresolved pain or unresolved trauma of their past with this Ace of Swords reversed. It's coming through so clearly because normally the Ace of Swords is a card of breakthrough, like the World card that speaks of transcendence. You know, so the Ace of Swords speaks of not being able to transcend mentally, not being able to move on. It's like they couldn't get past how things ended. Yeah, like they thought that they would be set free, right? But something is hindering them or keeping them behind. And I have to know what this is, guys. Like, let's see if I can get into that more into your next cards. And these will be showing me the intentions and why this spirit is still around. So we have here the card of the stick. We have the factory. Then we have the dove. Oh, okay. Then we have the King of Swords. And we have, yep, the Four of Cups reversed. So look at this dove. Look at here. Oh my God, I was about to say that for some of you, this is definitely someone that you knew. And it says here, counterpart. Like, for some of you, the spirit won't leave because they are watching over someone else. Like maybe that they are watching over their own counterpart that is still living, or someone else that is still grieving, especially with this Four of Cups reversed here. And because this individual could still be grieving hard, it's like the spirit doesn't want to let them go. It's almost like the person that could be grieving could be unwillingly tying the spirit down to those unprocessed, darker, heavier emotions, kind of, because that's what the Four of Cups speaks about, basically. And that's also what I've heard, basically, with this card of the factory here. I've heard the word unprocessed. So this is a matter of processing the heavier emotional charge that they have left behind. Now, this part of the message is for my group of people here who knew this individual. And for others of you who didn't know this individual, I feel that this spirit still has a lot of sadness and desperation attached to them. And that's this part of them that is still lingering around in this space where paranormal or spiritual phenomenon seem to occur, I tend to find that emotional charges are extremely powerful. Yeah, see, they carry that still with themselves. Like the man on the Four of Cups, they're still carrying those heavier, darker emotions here, that unprocessed charge. And so yeah, so what I was saying is that I tend to find that emotional charges are so strong to the spiritual realm, because emotional charges, they bind us to our human side. They remind us of our human experience most often, because they attach to specific, strong memories that are often quite powerful. And they sometimes can take a life of their own too when we keep feeding into the same kind of emotions. They can become real and almost like a separate entity, detached from us, that can take on an intelligence of its own. So that's why I speak often of the emotional body, like it's a layer of our spirit onto its own. Like there is a mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, and a spiritual body, and they're all connected together and they influence each other. So if something heavy is going on with a person, or on an emotional level, then this can easily transfer into their spiritual body if it remains unprocessed. Like it says here, you know, we've got a new word here. It says like circle. It goes on into a circle, like it's all connected. So a part of them, and that's what I see here, a part of their spirit is still attached behind to a heavier emotional charge that accompanied their decision with this King of Swords, and a part of them is still attached to their old emotional body that they are still carrying upon their shoulders. It's like a battle what they're saying here. So they're battling those heavier emotions right now, because the Four of Cups speaks of being unable to process those darker, lower vibrational feelings when it comes out reverse. So it speaks of remaining stuck into them, not being able to forgive, not being able to accept something. So I feel that this spirit is still heavy, but I don't feel that they are malevolent though, Pawan, especially because of this card of the dove here. I feel that they come with peaceful intentions, and I feel that all that they want right now is to be at peace. All that they want is to be able to find that peace. Like they thought that maybe that putting a physical end to that battle, like putting a physical end to their body, will perhaps bring that peace. And maybe that it did on a physical level, but it didn't bring peace on their emotional body, on their mental body that was still attached to their spiritual body. And so the spirit body is still carrying all of that, which has been transferred in there. So I hope I am explaining that right, because it makes sense in my mind. I hope it makes sense into yours. But yeah, that's what I'm getting here about this particular spirit here. But they are not malevolent or trying to scare you, is what this feels like to me. I just feel that the spirit is very troubled, like disturbed, to say the least. And that's the manifestations you have been seeing or experiencing. Well, these are basically manifestations of those disturbances happening within them, like with them at that moment in which it happened. So this spirit just feels sad, frankly. Like it's a very heavy energy, and it's because they are very unrested. Unrested is the word here. Like I also wonder if you perhaps have somebody at home, Pawan, that is not doing so well, and that could as well perhaps be feeding into that emotional imprint here. But if they are, it could also be a reason why the activities may have picked up more lately, or cranked up later, or sort of woken up, if this is something new. But let's see the words that you guys have received with the EVP. And so I'm going to collect that on a sheet of paper because it helps me concentrate more. And I'm also going to pull some cards for you guys right now to see how you should deal with the spirit moving forward. All right, so let's go on with that. Show me how Part 1 may deal with the spirit moving forward. We have here perfect acceptance. What was I saying? There's something that needs to be forgiven here, that needs to be accepted, but hasn't been accepted yet. And I feel like it could have to do with this spirit as well. I feel like it's a charge that this spirit is carrying as well, but I feel that somebody is feeding into that charge too, Part 1. I feel that someone could still, if you knew that person, that is, all right? If you didn't know that person, then forget about it. It might be just a spirit that needs to find perfect acceptance, basically, with the lives that they had, right? And the conditions that they were living their life through. But I feel that for some of you who knew this person, someone in a household or someone that knew this individual that was close to them hasn't fully accepted that yet. For sure. Let's see what else we can get. Maybe that this is you, Part 1. Maybe that this is you that hasn't accepted this person that has left if you knew them personally. Otherwise, it's just a spirit here that cannot accept what has happened to them. We have here detox, cleanse and restore yourself. It's funny because earlier it was talking about overdose and stuff like that, like, you know, like toxicity and things. And now it says detox. What else can we get for Part 1 spirit? How could they deal with that spirit moving forward? Woohoo! All right. So we have here the divine source, and we have here clairvoyance. Yeah, so maybe that you have been able to see that spirit before, or have seen manifestations of it, whether it's orbs of energy, maybe shimmerings of lights and stuff like that. Maybe you have been able to see shapes or shadows from the corner of your eyes. It's like your clairvoyance is kicking up near that particular spirit here. So I wrote down your word list, Part 1, and look at that. We have the word million, advantage, rat, foreigner, oven, course, place, warm, determined, previously, puncture, teen, circuit, circle, counterpart, carry, circle, and battle. So Part 1, that's a lot of words, like a lot of words starting with the letter C as well. But we have the word teen in there in my list. So for some of you, this could be talking about a teen, if this is not a middle-aged man, like I have felt at the beginning, or this could have been as well a counterpart, since this word also came through at the exact same moment that I was talking about a past loved one for some of you with a card of the dove. So it's like they are still holding on to the pain that they have left in someone behind. And it's like they regret having caused that. They don't regret their choice, because with the words determined, advantage, and with the previous card of discernment, right, that came through also earlier for you, I keep feeling that I know that this doesn't sound like something anyone wishes to hear, right? But it's almost, I don't know if I can say that well into words, like, you know, interpret it like how I'm feeling it, but I almost feel like it was in this person's spiritual course to experience that. Like somehow something in that experience of desperation is something that their soul had to learn from somehow. But if this is not about you or someone you know accepting the passing of this individual, Part 1, then I feel that this is saying that you can help the spirit accept their shadow, to accept the shadow that they were stuck into during their lifetime spent here. You can help them detoxify that of their energy so that they can go back to where they belong to, which is within the divine source. And how you can do that? Well, I have a suggestion for you. So this is something that we learn to do in rescue and transition mediumship. So if some of you don't know, basically I'm not a mental medium, all right? I'm not a working medium at all or anything like that, but I've done some rescue and transition mediumship before. It's kind of like my line of expertise for when it comes to that. And one technique that we learn, okay, take that suggestion if you feel called to do so, but you can do that in meditation, actually, part one. So I suggest that you make a ritual space with some music that helps you relax, maybe some incense lit on, perhaps maybe a little bit of candles around as well. And in that meditation, let yourself get into that trance, all right? Let yourself go into a trance while you're in your meditative space, okay? So take maybe the 10 first minutes to do that, to really concentrate on that. And then once you're ready, once you're in there, you're going to feel it, all right? Just trust yourself. So I want you to get aware of your energetic field, your aura, as we call it. So the energy that surrounds you, the energy that vibrates in your hands and in your limbs, all right? So I personally like to imagine it as a golden light that surrounds me, but it can be any color if you're choosing. And now, once you can feel it, once you can visualize it strong enough, I want you to imagine that you are stretching that bubble of divine energy outside of yourself. So if you want, imagine that you're creating a portal with that light, all right? And I want you to imagine the spirit being enveloped in it. Or perhaps I want you to imagine yourself taking this spirit by the hand and inviting them to go through that door with you. I want you to imagine you inviting through this spirit, through the portal of golden light you have created. That sounds very basic, but if you are grounded enough in your energy, it's basically a powerful technique to help spirits transcend back to source, transcend this lower plane and find the light back again. So I'll leave this technique with you if you want to try it, because I feel that extending your light or using your light can cleanse the guilt, it can cleanse the sadness, the abandonment feeling that perhaps the spirit left as they were passing, and it can help you help the spirit basically accept their lowest selves, accept the shadow in which they were living their moment here in. So it can replace those feelings that they felt, those lower feelings, with ones of love, of acceptance, of acknowledgement. You know, spirits can need healing just like people do. Some people don't even believe in spirits being able to get attached to this plane, and I respect that, all right? That's okay, that's their belief. I personally truly believe that, you know, spirits that are still attached to the lower plane are wandering this place still. They're just souls in search of healing. So it's nothing malicious, right? Just like people need healing. And just like the body or the mind or the emotions can need healing sometimes, I also feel that the soul and the spirit can need healing too from time to time. But part one, I will be closing the spiritual channel with the spirit in a moment and clear out the space. But I want to take this moment to thank you for having opened up this space with me today. Even if you're being behind your screen, there's that energy exchange still. And I hope that this reading could bring a bit more clarity and a bit more peace to what is going on inside of your home or whatever environment you could feel worried about. And if you have further concerns, please write them down in the comment section and I will get back to you as soon as possible, all right? And I also wanted to mention before I leave you that I'm offering a wide variety of Halloween theme readings for Samhain on my shop, so I will leave the link down below if some of you want to be working with me on a more personal level. And otherwise, I shall see you soon in the next video. Bye bye, you guys. Welcome, part 2, into this sacred space that I created for you today to feel safe while we connect to the spirits, entities, and energies within the location that you are thinking about, whether this is your home or the home of someone else that you know, whether it's a piece of land or maybe a haunted location that you have in mind. And so I have safely opened up the space for communication with these energies today, wherever it may be, and we're going to check in together how you may equip yourself to deal with those energies or even help them if possible, and if this is something that you have the energy to do. And now, at any given moment, if you feel fragile or if you feel a bit scared, I want you to click out of the video, because I already know, I have been able to sense it, that some of these piles today are going to be heavier than others. And since I am experienced with that, I'm not afraid. But please take your own well-being into consideration, because at the end of the day, you are the one living. All right, pile 2. And so this means that you have to take care of yourself. Okay? So now how the reading is going to work today is that we're going to take a look first at the energy present inside of the location you are thinking about and the story behind those energies, whatever it may be, in the first section of the reading with those cards over here. And then in the second section of the reading with those cards over there, we are going to take a look at this energy's intention and why they are still lingering around, basically. And then finally, I also want to say that in the final section of the reading, I'm also going to pull some extra oracle cards for you on camera to see if I can get some extra messages about how you may deal with this energy moving forward, pile 2. And I'm also going to take a look at the list of words that you will have received with the EVP app on this old phone that I have over here. And so I'm going to keep the EVP app open the whole time, and I might make some comments about the words that are coming up as we go along, by the way. But as I mentioned with pile number 1, I'm going to try to not do that as much as possible, because I don't want this to distract me from the work that I'm trying to do here. But I want to reassure you that at the end, completely, I'm going to write the words that you have received with the EVP down, and I'm going to combine that with the new cards that will have flipped out for you to get some extra messages for you from this spirit. And if some of you are curious to know about how the EVP app works, I explained it in the intro of the video. So let's start with an incantation and prayer, pile 2, and then I'm going to start the EVP, and we're going to dive into the first section of your reading, where we are going to take a look at the energy inside of your location and the history behind it. And this prayer, by the way, is going to be in my mother's tongue, because that's how I communicate with the realm of spirits. Esprit, permettez-moi de naviguer à travers votre monde et de revenir sous votre protection. Et à ceux qui me voudront du mal, lancez-leur ce sort. Devant lui, les habitants du désert fléchiront les genoux, et ses ennemis lécheront la poussière. So we are starting with Alethea vanished from the picnic. And then we have a mysterious urn appeared in the ground. Then we have the card of surrender. Then we have the card of hope. Then we have the 4 of coins. And we have the star reversed. So it's funny how on this 4 of coins, it looks like the character here on this card is like trying to bury these 4 pentacles here. Now, I'm not sensing the presence of a spirit standing out more than others. I sense the presence of spirits with an S with this pile. So I feel that whatever hauntings or manifestations you have been experiencing, pile 2, it's very real, and it's very attached to the location that your home or apartment is situated somehow. Something very tragic or very violent may have happened near your home, and very strange occurrences may happen around that area now. So I don't feel that it's necessarily attached to your home. It may be attached to the land where you're at. It may be attached to the neighborhood you live at even. This could be people who have been killed, or perhaps that this is a major historical event that happened near that place. Maybe that a lot of people as well disappear near that location as well. I don't know why, but that's also something that I'm picking up with this card of Alethea vanished from the picnic, and also with the Star card being reversed. Something about those two short stories here and the star reversed to me feels like a bit violent somehow, and not violent in a sense that the spirit is necessarily violent, or that there are spirits in here that are violent, but I feel something about the location you are at is attaching a lot of wandering lost souls. With the Star reverse here, and with the Four of Pentacles as well, it's like it keeps energies very, very well anchored down to this realm. It's like the boundary between this realm and the next one is like thinner around that location somehow. And because of that, you may get a lot of spirit passers, like I like to call them, like spirits that are just passing through, kind of manifestations that you may only see once and then that never come back. Kind of like if that location was a vortex of energy. It's kind of like if that location was a vortex for those energies to get sucked into and get stuck here. Like I feel this with this Four of Pentacles here. I feel like a lot of entities are stuck around that location. It's like they're buried there. Oh my god, okay. So a lot of those spirits may have been buried near that location somehow. Whoa, okay, that just came through. Like they feel, maybe it's metaphorical as well, like they feel like they have been stuck in the same place for a very, very long time. Maybe that they are stuck in a tragedy of what has happened to them as well. I'm saying that because I'm saying that those spirits are stuck basically because the Star comes directly after the Tower card in tarot. And so, you know, the Star, she comes directly after that destruction, a destructive event or a tragedy of some sort. And that's because the Star is normally a symbol of being ready. So being ready to move on and rebuild a new future. But this card is reversed here in your reading, showing me an inability to move on. And we also have a Four of Coins here. And the Four of Coins, it speaks of someone normally that is holding on so tightly to the Four of Pentacles that they are holding, that they refuse to let them go. They refuse to lose that. And so they keep holding on tight to what they have. And we even have a card of surrender here. So it works very well with that team now. And I also just noticed, god damn it, I don't know why I haven't noticed that before, but we also have a card of hope. And also the Star in tarot is also a symbol of hope. So, oh man, that's so odd. So those spirits, they cannot receive the relief that is trying to find them. We just had a first word for you here. It says next. So yeah, I just feel like and it's saying cold. And do you see how on the Star card reverse here, there's a bunch of snow? It's like where they find themselves is a bit cold. And it's like they cannot get to that next phase of the healing, that next phase of their transition or progression as a spirit. It's like they cannot, like I've said, they cannot find a relief that is trying to find them somehow. It's like they are stuck in how they have left things or in how things have ended for them. It's like those spirits have lost faith as well in the hopes of being remembered or of being helped or of like being able to transition maybe. I keep feeling that trapped feeling and it's almost suffocating to me. I wonder if this is because of this urn in the ground here. And also like on the Four of Coins where there's a person here that is trying to bury those Four of Pentacles in the ground and just make them vanish, basically. But I keep feeling that stuck, trapped, suffocating feeling. So I keep sensing from them that they lost all hopes of being found is the word that they're using in my mind right now. I wonder if people were buried near your home location, like I was saying, or maybe that some of you as well may live near a cemetery, because it's coming through so clearly here. Or maybe that you're very near another home where maybe a lot of tragedies have happened, but these lost souls, these heron souls, it's like they lost all hopes of some sort of retribution or justice on their hand. And I feel that because of that, they nourish into that big energetic field that is surrounding the location, that is creating those manifestations and strange things happening. It's like they cannot forgive how they left this world, or they cannot forgive like what was done to them. And some of them may refuse to let things go, maybe like on this Four of Pentacles. And because of that, it's like not only their energy cannot move on in peace. It says here, she knew. Whoa, okay. So someone knew. Someone may have known what happened there. Someone, I don't know if some of you are renting the location where you're at. The landlord may have known what happened there, or somebody has known. That's what it says here. But yeah, going back to your message, it's like some of these spirits may refuse to let things go, and because of that, it's like their energy cannot move on in peace, and it's like the past cannot find peace either. The past is what keeps on reliving over and over again like a torment. So this is wild, because multiple spirits are coming through here. I sense like it's kind of chaotic, the energy here. It's like multiple presences intertwining together and then separating again. And what I'm getting here as well is that there is a whole mystery behind those people's deaths or disappearances, or maybe that the story was twisted somewhere, maybe that someone was trying to hide something. This kind of Alethea has vanished from the picnic. Like, this is really getting my attention here. And also this one card here that says like a mysterious urn appeared in the grounds. Like, this is giving me the impression almost of an unsolved case, like an unsolved mystery, or some sort of like unsolved kidnappings or unsolved murders, unsolved genocide, like something like that. Like maybe that this is an unsolved case of mistreatment as well. Maybe that this is near a hospital, or an old hospital, or an old asylum, or old elderly place, or just a place like that where a lot of people may have been mistreated, or maybe that they died from some kind of mistreatment or treatment they received or didn't receive. It's like those people's last moments, they feel like an eternity to me with the Star card reverse. Like they have agonized for a very long time, or maybe that they were like waiting to be saved or be found for a very long time until they eventually succumbed. But they keep showing me like this very, very long line or length of time in which they have waited and waited. It's like they've waited to be freed, or they've waited to be found, or it's not clear to me. Like, I feel like no matter what happened to them, it was criminal almost. I would definitely make some research on that house or that location that you're at, Palto, because to me, and maybe make some research about the surrounding locations as well, because to me it almost feels like an unsolved case, or like a case that took a very, very long time to find maybe some sort of resolution that happened near where you live. See, it says block here. Yeah, it says like it's like something is blocked. It's blocking them from moving on. It's like blocking spirits in that area somehow. But this feels like a very, very old story that has been forgotten and almost like buried already. It's like, and maybe that you are meant to unbury it, Paltu. Maybe that you are meant to unbury this very old story. So this must be a very, very old property where you live. This could have happened a very long time ago, and maybe that the case was abandoned somehow, something like that. I'm really not sure, and I don't want to freak anyone out here, but I'm just communicating to you guys what I am personally receiving from those cards. And now, okay, this is going to sound very like morbid or creepy, and I'm sorry, but I need to say it because I keep being told to say it. But I wonder if some of you guys found certain items that may have belonged to someone else. Maybe that those items were buried somewhere. Maybe that you found certain things somewhere in your backyard, or perhaps in the walls, or in the attic, maybe in the basement, maybe underneath some sort of foundation of your home, or underneath some sort of like balcony or something like that. There is something hidden that this spirit wants you to find. I'm not sure if this message is for one person here, but I feel that there is a spirit in particular that wants to be found somehow. Like they want you to find something that belonged to them, or something that will prove that they were there. And you know, if this is an apartment, it says here basketball. I don't know if it rings a bell for any of you, but I just thought I will mention it while I was speaking about that. I just saw the word basketball here, but yeah, like if this is an apartment that you live in, then maybe that there isn't anything to be found. But with this card, like a mysterious urn appeared in the ground. They're showing me that you have found or may find evidence of them either outside somewhere in your backyard, or in a dark place where it will be easy to hide something. I keep picking up on lost and buried information about that location that are suddenly uncovered mysteriously. And I guess that this is why it's difficult for me to pick up on more details about those spirits' specific energy. And I totally understand if you want to reject this message, by the way. All right, because I feel that it's very specific for maybe 1 or 2 or maximum 3 people in here. Maybe that those cards as well are talking about the way that they manifest in your home or around that place. Maybe that spirits tend to appear in a room or outside or near that place where they were kept before dying. Maybe as well as some of those spirits are very active. They may move a lot of things around your home, or you may find a lot of different objects that are being misplaced, and maybe that you're finding them in weird places. Maybe that you have noticed certain things disappearing around your home as well, unexplainably. And I feel like this is definitely a way that those spirits use to make themselves known. They are very physical, is what this Four of Pentacles is saying. I feel that this is why they can move around certain objects. And I'm even hearing temperature with this star reversed here. So I wonder, like with the previous word cold as well, I wonder if there are areas around your home that are colder than others, or maybe that your home has always felt cold somehow for no reason. But that's something also that I'm picking up here about the energy of that place. But let's see if I can get into more details with the next card for you guys. And these will be showing me the intentions of these spirits and why they're still lingering or kind of trapped around that specific location here. And we have the ink, the sun, the flower, the Three of Coins, and the Ten of Swords. Oh, again, this is coming through so clearly. A lot of those spirits are ready to leave and to surrender, pile two, but it's like they can't. They need help and assistance to find the light and go towards that light, pile two, with the Sun card here as well. It's like they can't do it on their own somehow. They're stuck in that 10 of Swords position or vibration where it's too heavy for them, or it's too dark for them, it's too painful for them to handle alone because they're too involved. It's too personal to them somehow. And you may be the first person in a very, very long time that has paid attention to those spirits, or that sensed that something was a bit, that the vibration were off near that location you're at, or that maybe sense those spirits' presence. And maybe you're the first one in a long time to notice that there is something wrong about that place, wherever it is. But it feels to me like you're more intrigued by them than you are afraid somehow. Like you're more intrigued by them and you actually want to help, and they truly appreciate that from you. And some of you may already be mediums or have a lot of mediumship capabilities, because I see here with the Sun, the flower and yang, that there is a lot of spiritual protection already placed around you. And maybe that some of you needed help or assistance to like reinforce that protection as well. And maybe that you have asked for the help of a practicing medium or Reiki healer or energy healer to place that spiritual boundary around you. But even if it's not the case, I see a lot of higher spiritual beings fighting for you and protecting you. So you have a big, 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 bright, energetic field that has always been very attractive to the spirit realm, Paltu. So those manifestations may not be your first one, actually. I feel like you had spiritual experiences like that before, haven't you? Most likely you had plenty of spirits visiting you before in one way or another, either in your waking life or in your dream state, or you have had a lot of spiritual experiences in the past already. So, because I see here with that Sun card here, it says, do run. I feel like somebody is trying to scare you here. Like I've said, I feel like there's a whole mix of different energies in this spa. I feel like some spirits in there may be benevolent, while some of them may be more disturbed. Some of them may be a bit more like borderline, a little bit angry. So for sure, you're always going to get like a couple of apples in that basket trying to scare you off. Whoa. That's so weird. The app froze. It's completely frozen. The tool isn't responding. Do you want to close it? All right, yeah. Somebody is trying to mess around right now with my phone. But moving on. I feel like there's a lot of spiritual protection placed around you, Palthu, and I feel like there was an infiltrator in there that was trying to challenge that a little bit. But your energy, let me just say that your energy is like a lighthouse to the spirit realm. It's like emitting light is what I'm seeing with this Sun here and the flower there. It's a beautiful blooming energy. So spirits of all sorts will find themselves lost. They can pick up on your light and they can find themselves attracted to it and guided by it. And so that's why you will have always like these mix of different energies around you. And which is why I feel that like if something is getting you scared, like here we have the word hell, like wow, like I feel like again, like reinforcing, if something is scaring you right now, reinforcing that protective field around you is really going to help. Because I feel that whatever happened at that location, like I've said, is very, like it's not natural. It's a bit hellish. It's like unhuman. I feel that this is why you're going to get a mix of like weird vibrations in there, where some of these energies are going to be more negative, a bit darker, a bit scarier for you. And at any given moment, make sure you reinforce that protective field, all right? And remember here who is in charge, because spirits in general, I feel that they tend to gravitate around you specifically because of that. And this is why you could be more affected than the others for when it comes to what is happening around that area. So spirits may gravitate around that location actually, because I kept feeling that stuck feeling from them, and probably everybody that lives in that area or visits it are affected to some degree, but I feel that they are particularly attached to you, Paltu, or attracted by your energy. And you know, don't worry, because even if it's something bad, I feel like you have the tools, you have the protection, you have the energy around you to be able to deal with that. But I know that it can be draining for you and your energy to receive contact from so many different energies. And it's like you can never expect, right? If the next energy that you encounter is sort of well-intentioned towards you or not. Because some of these spirits are trying to attach themselves to your light so that they can be pulled away from that Ten of Swords space here. It may be that you can't see it or sense it necessarily, but this could exert a bit of pressure on your energy. But yeah, for sure, with this Ten of Swords, I see that there are spirits of people who had a very painful death or who had a very difficult time passing over, and their energy is still stuck on how things ended. Ten of Swords. All tens in tarot, they represent an ending, and a Ten of Swords is a very painful one, a very disturbing one. So their energy is still stuck on that vibration here. Something about that experience was too traumatizing for their soul. It disturbed the soul's journey. And that's why with the Three of Coins, I see that a lot of them, they desperately need and hope for external assistance. And if not from you, if you don't feel ready, then from another practitioner. So I'm not sure if some of you have maybe thought about enlisting maybe some sort of help, like a medium or someone that can come in to clear those energies for you, but that will be the best option in my opinion, especially because we have the Three of Coins here, and especially with the words as well that were coming through for you that I didn't like. I'm so sorry, this app keeps getting advertisement. It's very annoying. But let's see the words that you guys have received with the EVP. Let's go back over that, and also let's pull some cards for you guys to see how you should deal with those spirits moving forward. See if there are other things that you can do on your end to help some of these souls transition, and also to protect your energy from the types of energies that you absolutely don't want to get involved with. Because in the time being that those spirits get the proper help, or that those spirits transition, or that there is some sort of external help that arrives, it's also important that you help your own self too, and that you keep your spiritual boundaries very clear around that location, Paltu, when you enter it, all right? Because spirits are like people, right? Sometimes people go through horrible tragedies and experiences in their life, and while you cannot always save everybody, you can still have a watchful eye over people or over these spirits, some of them, while also taking care of yourself, because that's very important too. But spirits, what can Paltu do to protect themselves from from those spirits' energies, and to deal with them moving forward? Whoa. See, we have the card of honor yourself here. We have honor yourself. We have solitude. It says alone but not lonely. And we have a third card here that fell in my lap, and it says pause in your journey. Let's see what else we can get for you. Spirit, how may Paltu deal with these entities moving forward? Have power of prayer. I'm just going to keep the top one, but we have spirit guides as well. So maybe that asking for the help of your spirit guides as well could be crucial. I'm gonna keep this one out actually. I feel that this is meant for you. Let's get the last one. How may Paltu protect themselves and deal with these entities moving forward? Get a final card for Paltu. We have here turn on switch. Yeah, that's talking about your boundaries here a lot, Paltu. So let's go through the words that you guys have received. We have the word here next, cold, she knew, lifestyle, block, dominate, baseball, pant, whoever, do run, hell, round, and beside. So I find it interesting that the words next and beside have both come out in your list. This could be talking about the location where something evil has happened. This could be next door. This could be like at your neighbor, or this could be maybe at a basketball field. Like this is very specific, but it came through in your words list, so I thought that I would mention it. Yeah, because I keep feeling about the energy surrounding you, pal, too, that this is attached to a bigger location than just your home. So maybe a little bit of investigation could help you find out what happened. Maybe that the neighbors as well are experiencing something of their own. But your cards are talking to me about spiritual boundaries here. I mean, honor yourself, pause in your journey, alone but not lonely. This is saying to me that you have never felt alone somehow. It's never quiet at your place, isn't it? And it's important to put a switch on, or to put like some sort of limit on how much energy and attention you decide to give to this and to them. I also keep getting that you have a special power with prayer. How to? You are like some sort of prayer warrior or something like that. Like when you say like enough is enough, and you close your door and establish a perimeter with your words and with your intentions, energies around you, they tend to go quieter. They tend to like go more dormant, if you will. So I would say use that power to your advantage. If things are getting out of hand, definitely enlist some sort of help if you feel like that's not enough, because the Three of Coins was talking about that for you earlier. But by the time being, putting a clear mental, emotional, and energetic limit with those spirits in terms of where they're allowed to go with you is going to be important. And if some of them test those boundaries, then reinforcing your field of protection through prayer or through reading scriptures out loud, this could be very powerful for you, pal, too. Protection spells are very effective for you, and especially with the ink that was coming through here earlier. This is a symbol of spiritual protection as well. So you don't have to relate prayer to religion, by the way, because prayer is just the act of intentional communication with another source. So you can even pray to your spirit guides, or you can even pray to your higher self even. But when you speak words of power or words of intent, it infuses the field around you with energy. And this energy can act like a powerful armor to the spirit realm. But Patu, I will be closing the spiritual channel with your location in a moment, and I will also clear out the space. But I want to take this moment to really thank you for having opened up this space with me. Even if you are beyond your screen, there's that energetic exchange still. And I hope that this reading could bring a little bit more clarity, a bit more confirmation about what is going on inside of your home or whatever environment you could feel a bit worried about. And you know, if you have further concerns, please write them down in the comment section, because I will try to get back to you as soon as I can and see if I can help. And if I can't, I can't, but at the very least, if there is something that you worry about and that I may be able to help with, I'm always there, available. I also wanted to mention before leaving you that I'm offering a wide variety of Halloween theme readings for Samhain on my shop, and so I will also leave the link down below towards all of that if some of you want to be working with me on a more personal level. And otherwise, I shall see you soon in the next video. Bye, you guys. Take care. Welcome, Pal 3, into this sacred space I created for you today to feel safe while we connect to the spirits, entities, or energies within the location that you are thinking about, whether this is your home or the home of someone else that you know, or a piece of land, or maybe a haunted location that you have in mind. So I have safely opened up the space for communication today with these energies, wherever they may be. And we're going to check in together how you may equip yourself to deal with those energies, or even help them if possible, and if this is something that you have the energy to do. And now, just a very quick disclaimer here: at any given moment, if you feel scared, if you feel fragile, I want you to click out of the video, because I already know, I have been able to sense it, all right, that some of the pals today are going to be heavier than others, and since I am experienced with that, I'm not afraid. But please take your own well-being into consideration first, because at the end of the day, you are the one living, and so this means that you have to take care of yourself first, okay? So how the reading is going to work today is that I'm going to take a look first at the energy present inside of your location that you are thinking about and the story behind this energy in the first section of the reading with those cards here. And then after that, in the second section of the reading with the cards over there, I'm going to see what's this energy's intentions and why they are still around. And then finally, at the last section of the reading, I'm going to pull some oracle cards on camera for you guys to see how you may deal with that energy moving forward. And I'm also going to take a look at the list of words that you guys will have received through the EVP app on my old phone that I have here, and that I'm going to keep open during the whole seance. And I might make some comments about the words that are coming up as I'm going along, but I'm going to try not to, because I want to mainly focus on the list at the end, and you know, focus on the reading and on the messages I'm receiving with the cards, but I want to use them as additional messages towards the end. And so if some of you are curious to know how the EVP app works, I explained it in the intro of the video. But let's start with an incantation and prayer first, pile 3, and then I'm going to start the EVP, and we're going to dive into the first section of your reading, where I'm going to take a look at the energies inside of your location and the history behind it. And this prayer, by the way, is going to be in my mother's tongue, because that's how I communicate with the realm of spirits. Esprit, permettez-moi de naviguer à travers votre monde et de revenir sous votre protection. Et à ceux qui me voudront du mal, lancez-leur ce sort. Devant lui, les habitants du désert fléchiront le genou, et ses ennemis lécheront la poussière. We're starting with Amanda wrote a note to Augustus. Then we have Alfred returned from Novaya Zemlya. Then we have gentleness. Then we have balance. Then we have the Queen of Coins. And we have the Hangman reversed. The word first here. First Lady of the House, this just came through. I don't know if it means anything to you, First Lady of the House. That's just what I received. Interesting. So I'm seeing a story being all put together in my mind right now. This spirit is very communicative with me. It says here Zachary. So it may be somebody, it may be the name of that spirit if this is a man, but I don't know why. But this feels like a feminine presence to me. So, you know, this story that is tracing itself in my mind right now is very, very specific, by the way. So that story may vary a little from person to person here. But someone on this reading truly needs to hear that, because there's definitely a woman here coming through strongly with a very sad, like, romantic story. Like, she felt very angry to be left behind or to be abandoned by the man that she loved, is what I understand from her energy. And I keep feeling her sadness, her aloneness, her frustrations. Perhaps that this man that she was waiting for so patiently was her husband, because this woman here on this card of gentleness has a wedding dress on. And it's just wild that the word Zachary was also coming through. So I don't know if Zachary may have been someone that she was close to. Maybe that it was this man that she loved. Maybe that it was her child. Something along those lines. But it's crazy because as I flipped these cards for you, pile 3, I had the brief image of a feminine silhouette in my mind's eye, and she was glowing in bright white light. Like, I wonder if you saw such a woman before, maybe from the corner of your eyes, or maybe that you felt her presence. But that woman glowing in white light is an image I cannot stop like moving my mind from. Or maybe that or maybe that she was all dressed in white. I'm also seeing some very old soldier outfit. Like, I wonder if it comes from the man that she was waiting for, perhaps that he was in the military. You see, maybe that this is why he had to leave home and abandon this person behind. Maybe he had to go far away for a while. I feel like this could as well be this husband that may have found her hanging somewhere. Like, that's what I saw with this Hangman reverse and a card of balance as well. Feels very gloomy inside. I also kept hearing upstairs. So I don't know if where you live there's like a second floor, pile 3, or maybe that the death of this individual happened on the top floor. If you live in an apartment, if you live inside of a house, then maybe that the body was found somewhere on a second floor or somewhere like in an attic or something like that. Maybe that you also get a lot of activity from the floor above you. So like maybe that you tend to hear a lot of strange noises like steps or voices coming from upstairs. And maybe that when you go to check, there is nothing, but it may feel like you're never alone in your own home, pile 3, wherever it may be. You may always feel strangely observed, or like the spirit just said hi here, and it says here infant. Okay, so she may have had a child as well. But one thing that just because I kept seeing the EVP going while I was talking right there, and I keep seeing here that the energy of those bars there is pretty high. It almost never happens that it's like on that constant high. So it's almost like her presence can be felt very strongly, is what I feel. You can feel when she's around, is what this feels like to me. So yeah, you may feel strangely observed, or like your home is never truly quiet or silent somehow. So the story of that spirit may vary from individual to individual, like I was saying, but I definitely sense a lot of loneliness with the cards here. Like, this woman's presence was a prisoner almost in their own home, or like they felt alone, like left behind by the people that they love maybe. But this person for sure, this spirit here, spent a lot of time at home. They spent most of the time in their home or in that location that they passed away, that's for sure. I feel like they weren't going out very often, which is why it built up that energy around there. When we spend a lot of time in the same place, it builds up some sort of an energetic pull, energetic momentum, or some sort of energetic feel near that location, I tend to find. So I feel that this feminine presence spent most of their time tending to that home, and maybe that this person wrote a lot or read a lot. With this card here, maybe that she took care of the chores around her home while her husband was away. I'm looking at that character here on the card of Amanda, looking through the window, right? She's looking through the window here, and I can sense this woman looking through the same window, like through a similar window. Maybe that this is where somebody saw her before, for some of you who felt drawn to this ball. Maybe that you saw a woman looking through that window before. Maybe that she stared at that window a lot throughout her lifetime on a top floor. Maybe that she loved the view there, or maybe that she expected someone from there. Maybe that for some of you as well, when you are outside of your home, it's like you can feel that someone is watching you from the inside, from inside of the home. It's like when you are outside of home and in the yard, it's like you can feel strangely observed from inside of the home. And it may just be a feeling, but for those of you who strongly resonate with that, I feel that this is your confirmation that you are definitely on the right path here. If you have experienced something like that before, feeling like you're not alone home in your own home, and like you are constantly being observed somehow, because the spirit, they sit back and they watch you a lot is what I'm sensing. They don't feel very active to me. They feel a bit more passive, like they sit back and observe a lot, with this hangman reverse too. And maybe you have been able to see their presence, and this could be what is most disturbing about their energy. But the strong sentiment that I keep picking up surrounding this spirit is loneliness and sadness, like she wants company. And it also feels with this hangman reverse that she like doesn't understand why she was forgotten, why she was left behind, why she was abandoned to her own fate. It's almost as though she finds it unfair or cruel how she was being treated. Because with the Queen of Coins, she was always this dutiful wife, this dutiful woman, a great caretaker and partner. And she doesn't understand what she did wrong to deserve the ultimate fate that she has gotten, basically. And I'm truly hesitating right now. Like I said, that someone may have found her hanging upstairs with this hangman reverse and this balance card. But actually, I'm almost wondering if this person could have died from mistreatment, or maybe that it was some sort of accident. I feel that for most of you, this person died alone. So it's difficult to tell. But like I've said, this part of the story may vary from person to person. So maybe that for some of you, it's maybe the husband that was being violent. With this card of Alfred here, Alfred returned from the Via Zemlya, because the hangman reverse represents someone that is disagreeing. Nod. Okay, so I feel like she may agree that, you know, this part of the story is basically, there are some variations here from person to person. But yeah, I'm saying that basically because the hangman reverse, it represents someone that is disagreeing with the sentence that they've got. It's like it was too unfair, or maybe like she was convicted for a crime she didn't commit. Oh my god, so that's the hanging. Okay, 1 minute. This reading took a turn right now. This person may have actually died on the gallows, or in a prison, or maybe outside of the home while the husband was away. Okay, I understand now. So that's the thing. Maybe that the spirit came back home to watch over the husband that never came back, or something like that. But maybe that didn't get to say goodbye because it all happened so fast and happened while she was alone and couldn't defend herself. That would make sense. That would make sense. So I have a pile here where these different stories, they may intertwine and connect somewhere. And it's funny that your pile is coming across as a story. Like I feel that this spirit somehow needed to tell her own story. But let's take a look at your other cards, pile 3. See if I can get into more details with your next cards and see what will be basically the spirit's intentions and why they're still lingering around that place. So we have here the ribbon, then we have the umbrella, we have house. Just said straw here, so I don't know if that's a farmhouse or something like that. We have here the 8 of Cups reversed. And we have the Knight of Coins. So look at that, with this 8 of Coins, this spirit is not ready to leave. It's like they're still looking for someone to come back. The spirit is very attached to that home or that house, pile 3, and they are not ready to leave. They're all still like in this dutiful service to that place, but from the spiritual realm now, I feel like it's their choice in some way. Like I keep picking up on the fact that this home must be a very, very old one. It feels to me almost like I'm just looking at a picture here, and it almost feels to me like a Victorian home or maybe like a colonial home or something like that. And I feel this person, when they were alive, this must have been like their dream home somehow. I feel like they love that home, and I feel like a part of their spirit decided to watch over that home or that place with the Knight of Coins here, and to keep being of service of it, to keep protecting it. Whoever this is and whatever their true story is, they're very attached to this home location. That's what I see with this house here and the ribbon as well. And to me, to see this beautiful ribbon here tells me that this is a beautiful bond somehow. Like it may be the thing that helps the spirit process their own life and grief, is to keep serving and protecting the house somehow with this umbrella card as well. But I don't feel that you can't necessarily chase the spirit from their home, pile 3. If you've tried to do that, this could cause frustration from that spirit here. They have to be like a roommate. I know this sounds strange, but if you don't want to get them angry, it's like you have to treat them like a roommate somehow. And I feel that if you take care of your home and give love to that home, you will appease them and truly get the spirit on your good side. I feel that this person here, when they were alive, they truly cherished that place and they kept it neat. With this Queen of Coins and Knight of Coins here, like they really tended to it with a lot of care and a lot of love and a lot of detail oriented service kinda. So taking care of the home physically through keeping it clean and cleansing it regularly, energetically, I feel is going to calm the spirit down. And I also keep picking up that it might bring the spirit to help and assist you in even other spheres of your life as well. Because I feel that all that they want to know is that, see, you have to show them your good intentions. Wow, okay, so this is coming through clearly. I also keep coming up, like I was saying, that it might bring the spirit to like help you in your life, like I was saying. And all they want to know basically is to see that their home is still well taken care of. And if you do that, they're going to love you for it. They're going to respect you for it. But I invite you to see the spirit from now on kind of like a roommate. You know, roommates can sometimes bring life inside of a home. They can be a friend and a helper, right? And it's not as quiet as living alone, that's for sure. When you live with a roommate, you have to cope with the fact that this person is living on their own time schedule. Sometimes that is different than you, but they are still living under the same roof as you. So, you know, sometimes you will hear them, sometimes they will be a little bit intrusive from here and there, but it's nothing wrong though. Okay, so it's what comes with a package of living with somebody else, right? So I don't know if you guys know what a domovoi is, but this is what the spirit is making me think of, and I suggest that you research on that topic. But I do in my folklore Slavic roots, because I'm a witch, but I work a lot with the Slavic traditions. You know, we call house spirits domovoi in my practice. So we say that homes and houses, they each have a domovoi, and that the domovoi is what gives it its spirit and its personality, if you will. So domovois were said to live in a home's heart or underneath the stove in the old stories, and their purpose was to basically serve the home as well as protect its inhabitants. But it was said as well that a home with paranormal activity was a home with an angry domovoi. And in order to appease the domovoi, people had to keep the home very clean. They had to keep their relationships within the home very peaceful. And they will also make offerings, like they will for example, place an extra plate of food for the domovoi in special occasions. So I suggest that you research more on that, pile 3, because if the paranormal activities have picked up lately, it could be because the spirit sees something within the home that needs to be taken care of, whether it's with how you tend to your home or with your relationships inside of the home. I feel that seeing this spirit is normal because they will always be around to some degree, right? And remain watchful of the place and of you as well if you take care of it. But if you sense that this spirit is getting further than that, then that may be something to watch out for, is to basically see at how you're tending to the home and with who you are sharing that living space with, how they are treating that environment as well. But let's see the words that you guys have received with the EVP. Let's see the list of it. And also, let's pull some extra oracle cards for you guys to see how you may deal with that spirit moving forward. Like, I feel like I've already kind of told you guys, but let's see if there are other things that you should be aware of and that you can do on your end to keep a good relationship with that spirit while you live under the same roof. Things that you can do to appease the spiritual activities. That's 2 cards, so I'm gonna keep shuffling. Just want 1 card, spirit. We have here vertigo, and it says, whatever you choose will be correct. All right, so this spirit is not that, like, I'm perhaps made it appear like it was complicated to please them, but they are actually not that complicated. I feel like whatever you choose to be, oh my God, okay, I just received, oh my God, I don't know why I just received that right now. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so I don't know if some of you as well have been hesitant, like maybe that, okay, I don't know if some of you have been thinking about doing some renovations around your home, or maybe that you started doing some renovations and you've noticed that this spirit was more active. But I feel if that's the case, this card could be confirmation here that whatever you choose will be correct, as long as it's made out of love and good intentions, right? So I don't feel that they mind you changing around this stuff in a home, as long as it's well kept, basically. It says here, paradisiacal. Oh my God. It says you belong to paradise. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that she's gaining a lot of special attention to you guys, maybe because you have made that place your own paradise. Maybe it's because you love that home as much as this spirit used to love that home. Maybe that's why she's just like so attracted towards your energy. And it's so funny because so far, and almost all of the piles, like a lot of the oracle cards have been matching the same color scheme, and it's like these 2 cards are in the same like greenish sort of hue. So I find it interesting. Make that place your safe haven, that's for sure. It says here, replenish your energy. Yeah. See, I feel like this spirit wants you to make that place yours and just relaxing for you. Says here, time to heal. Oh, and there's another card underneath it. It says spirit communication process, but I feel like this one is yours. Time to heal. Is there one last card for pile 3, spirit? Oh, I feel like this is it. No other cards want to fall off, so feel like this is all your cards. So let's see the list of words that you guys have received. We have Zachary. So this could have been the name of someone that this person knew in their own living time. Maybe that this is your name. Maybe that this is the name of someone that live inside that home. Then we have can't remember. Then we have better, manage, high, infant, alley, clouded, meeting, puncture, nod, straw, frustrations, show, believe him. So yeah, I feel like taking care of that place, like that hidden paradise or gem, was the way of this person to cope or manage with the loneliness or the pain or the loss. And I feel that they are trusting you enough now, pile 3, to handle you that torch, because I see a relationship here in between you and this spirit, and this probably will come to you as a surprise since you are on this reading. I don't know, maybe not, but I'm not sure if you knew. Maybe it's an unconscious for you, but it's like this spirit is also attached to you somehow, and this must be because of how much you love, care, and maybe put beauty inside of a place that they used to love themselves, and how you made them feel at home, probably because of that, or make them remember their home at its former glory, maybe by putting potential into what this home could have been as well. And if you haven't made this place fully yours yet, I suggest that you do so, pile 3. Place your own energy in it, decorate it, tend to it, make it into a paradise of your home, and whatever you choose will be correct, because it's a question of intention. So as you do so, I feel this spirit will find tremendous healing in that. As you find healing in that place, this spirit will too. It's like both of your healing is connected somehow. I keep feeling that. I don't know if some of you guys as well are sharing the same healing journey, maybe that you went through a separation yourself and you're trying to heal from that, and maybe it connects you to the spirit energy here. But I don't know why, but your healing journey is intertwined somehow. So as you make this place yours and give it love and give it care, so I see the both of you find healing, and I also feel that you might see the spirit less and less. Or if you don't see them less, then I feel that they will become more quiet, more erased in the background, if you will, and let you take care of things more. But that's a beautiful energy exchange that I sense here, though. Yeah, it's a beautiful exchange that the two of you can have through tending to that same place that connects you both. But this spirit is the spirit guardian of the whole now, and they thank you for respecting them and for adoring their place as much as them. And like I've said, they basically need to be treated like a roommate. That's how you move forward with the spirit and keep a good relationship with them, basically. It's pretty basic and easy, but it means a lot to them. But pile 3, I will be closing the spiritual channel with the spirit in a moment and clear out the space for the next pile. But I want to take this moment to thank you very much for having opened up this space with me. And even if you are behind your screen, because, you know, there's this energy exchange still. And I hope that this reading could bring a little bit more clarity, maybe a little bit more peace to what is going on inside of your home or whatever environment you could feel worried about. And if you have further concerns, please write them down in the comment section for me, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible, because I'm here to help you as well. And I also wanted to say, before I close this down, that I'm also offering a wide variety of Halloween theme reading for Samhain on my shop. So I will also leave the link down to my store down below for you in the description box, for those of you who want to be working with me on a more personal level. And otherwise, I shall see you soon in the next video. Bye bye, you guys. Welcome back 4 into the sacred space that I created for you today to feel safe while we connect with the spirits, the entities, or energies within the location that you are thinking about. Whether this is your home or the home of someone else that you know, a piece of land, or maybe a haunted location that you have in mind. So I have safely opened up the space for communication today with the energies in here, whatever they may be, and we're going to check in together how you may equip yourself to deal with those energies, or even help them if possible, and if this is something that you have the energy to do. And now, just a very quick disclaimer before I start, but if at any given moment you feel a little bit scared or you feel a little bit fragile, I want you to click out of the video, because I already know, I have been able to sense it, all right, that some of the piles today are going to be a bit heavier than others. And since I am experienced with that, I'm not afraid, but please take your own well-being into consideration first, because at the end of the day, you are the one living. And so this means that you have to take care of yourself, okay? So how this reading is going to work today is that I'm going to first take a look at the energies present inside of the location you are thinking about and the story behind this energy, whatever it may be, with those cards over here. And then in a second section of the reading, I'm going to check in this energy's intention and why they are still around. And then finally, in the last section of the reading, I'm going to pull some extra oracle cards for you guys on camera to see how you may deal with these energies moving forward. And I'm also going to take a look at the list of words that you guys will have received with the EVP app, basically, that I'm going to be opening in a second, and that is on my old phone right here. And I'm going to keep this app on my phone open the whole time that we're doing the seance. And I may make some comments, by the way, about the words that are coming up as we go along, but I'm mainly going to focus on the reading here. And then at the end of the reading, I'm going to take a look at the list of words and see if there are extra messages that are trying to come through. And if some of you are curious to know how the EVP app works, I explained that all in the intro of the video. But let's start right now with an incantation and prayer pile 4, and then I'm going to start the EVP, and we're going to dive into the first section of the reading, which is about taking a look about the energy inside of your location and the history behind it. So this prayer that I'm going to mention right now, it's going to be in my mother's tongue, because that's how I personally communicate with the realm of spirits. Esprit, permettez-moi de naviguer à travers votre monde et de revenir sous votre protection. Et à ceux qui me voudront du mal, lancez-leur ce sort. Devant lui, les habitants du désert fléchiront le genou, et ses ennemis lécheront la poussière. So we are starting with a disguised person came to one of the side doors. Then we have Angus inherited the grandfather clock from Aunt Ada. Then we have the card of faith. Then we have the card of strength. Then we have the Empress reversed. And we have the Knight of Swords reversed. Someone at your place took something back home with them, pile 4. That's what I'm picking up right away. It's an energy that I see them trying to spiritually combat. And it's an energy that, I'm not going to lie, I don't like. We've got your first word here, capability. I feel like this spirit could be capable of anything. It says here, Caroline. I don't know if that's your name or if that's the name of someone that you know, or if that rings a bell to you. But I feel that this spirit, it's not even a spirit. It feels like an entity. Like, let's call it an entity for now. I feel that it's strong, and I feel that it could be capable of almost anything. I don't feel that this is the spirit of someone that used to live necessarily. It could be a negative entity that this person picked up somewhere else or picked up on somebody else, but this energy, whatever they are extremely powerful with this card of strength here. It takes a lot of spiritual light and faith to combat this kind of energy. But this truly feels to me like someone brought this energy home from another place or from another person, because look at this dark entity here knocking on the side, like on the side door, it says. We also have the card here of Angus bringing a club back that he inherited. So I wonder if somebody went... Okay, this is going to sound a little bit ridiculous here, but bear with me. I wonder if someone went shopping at an antique store lately, or maybe a secondhand store, and maybe that they brought something back with them that had that energy attached to it, maybe. Otherwise, I don't know if someone in your home maybe loves ghost hunting, powerful, and going to these different haunted locations. Maybe you love to do that. Maybe that they brought something back with them from that place. Maybe that yeah, this could be talking about someone else that you live with, or could be talking about you, powerful, even. Or maybe that it's not as evident as that. Like maybe that someone, you or someone else you live with, is hanging out with people that may have this sort of darker energy around them or at their own place. I would really do that investigation if I were you, powerful, because I truly see here that the problem does not come from inside of the house. It comes from outside of it. It comes from someone that has allowed that type of energy into the home, or who has brought back that energy inside of the home from somewhere. I also want to say, if some of you are magic practitioners, and look, I'm not here to tell you what to do, because I do a lot of spirit work myself, all right? So that would be hypocritical. And I work with black mirrors, Ouija boards, and crystal balls. But if you worry that you may have opened a portal for something else to come through, like personally, I know that I could if I wanted to. It's not something I've done before, but I know that I could freaking open a portal if I wanted to. So I don't know if some of you may have consciously done that, or done that by accident, but I believe in the power of intent, you guys, and I believe in the power of belief as well. Like, belief is so freaking strong. And so if that's part of your paradigm as a spiritual worker, and you believe that you may have opened something funky, which could be possible, then this could also be why this message is coming through about this entity being invited in or being brought in, instead of coming from within a place you are at. It says here store, and it's funny because earlier I mentioned the secondhand store or antique store, so this could be definitely a confirmation for some of you who went not so long ago, or maybe if you can trace back your step and recognize that you have been to such a store like that before the activity have picked up in your home or in your place. So I know that this is this is very specific, but somebody on this planet absolutely needs to hear it, and you will recognize yourself if it's meant for you, all right? But whatever is causing violent activity, darker or scarier activities at your home, it comes from someone else or somewhere else. And somebody invited it or brought that thing basically back home, probably unwillingly. But I feel the need to banish that, whatever it is. Like, it's not something that I feel needs a cleanse. Like, to me, a cleanse is like more like soft, right? You know, like, no, it feels like a more aggressive method than that. Like, this energy requires a freaking banishment, if you see what I mean. Like, literally, it does not belong here. That's what I keep hearing. This energy does not belong anywhere near you, and anywhere near your home or your loved ones. And you will have to make that clear. Because that spirit, it could be a trickster, and it will test your boundaries with this card here of a disguised person. Yeah, I'm experiencing big discomfort around this energy here. I guess that this is because the Empress, you know, which is a card of comfort, is being reversed here. And the Empress, when she comes out reversed, she does not give life, but she takes it. She takes life. So I don't know if you and the people you live with have felt more tired or maybe a bit more drained lately. Maybe that you or someone else has felt more irritated lately with this Knight of Swords reversed as well. If you or someone else you live with even have felt ill, maybe that plants around your home have started fading and dying. Maybe that you have a pet that started hiding more than usual, or who has alerted you of this sort of like heavier presence. Maybe that the people you live with or a pet started to act strange. I feel that this entity is very strong, like I was saying, with this card of strength. And they may even visually interact with your physical reality and move things around. So maybe that you have seen undeniable evidence of paranormal activity, like stuff like moving or falling down the walls or being knocked from the table. Maybe that you have seen things as well, scary things, like disturbing things that you cannot explain. But this energy is trying to scare you, kind of, is what I'm getting. They're trying to scare you off. Oh, we have the word here, modify. And it says here, disguised person. I was talking about a trickster spirit earlier. So perhaps that they can modify even their like maybe that they can shapeshift or modify their form somehow to try to scare you off or something like that. But this energy is what I will call a parasitic entity for sure, because they attach themselves to someone or to an object that was brought inside of the home, is what this looks like with his Angus inherited the grandfather clock from Mount Ilda. It's like this energy got transferred somewhere. It got brought in, right? And when they are unleashed, it's like they suck the life out of things with this Empress reversed. So it's funny, we have the word chronic now, and earlier I think it was saying disabled. So again, it's like that theme of like disability, disease, illness, something like that. So again, this feels like a parasitic entity. It's like their form of attack with the Knight of Swords reverse. They attack indirectly like that. I'm feeling like this energy here could also be violent with a Knight of Swords reverse. If they are not violent right now, they could be. And so I would definitely watch out for this one, Pile 4. Because the Knight of Swords, when he comes out reverse, he becomes extremely out of control. When he comes out reverse, he becomes wild. And he can act sporadically too. But this spirit is trying to fight to win here. Like they're trying to get inside of your home, maybe permanently, or trying to get inside of the people that you live with and that are affected by them, maybe with the Empress reverse. And I know that this is scary, but I have to say it. If you feel that you or someone else in your home has gotten attacked before, Pile 4, with this Knight of Swords reverse, whether it's that you woke up with scratches or maybe bruises or felt literally touched or pushed or poked. Like if anything gets physical to any level, if something was thrown at you even, something like that, and maybe that you don't feel safe anymore in your own home or in your own bed or in your own body even, then those are symptoms of the spiritual battle I see you or the people you live with being engaged into, whether they realize it consciously or not. And if this escalates, then that's a state of emergency for sure. It says here, frustrate. So yeah, it's like somebody here may feel more irritated or more inclined to have like those like outbursts of anger. That's weird. And you know, it's okay to admit it if you need spiritual help on this one. If you are not a magic practitioner yourself or a medium, it's okay to call forward some external help. So especially if things got physical, or if you feel that there might be some sort of psychic attack going on, even where maybe that you feel that someone's health is at risk. It says here cure. See? Mental. Oh my god, I was just talking about that. That is freaky. I was just talking about psychic attack, and it says here cure mental. God damn it. Yeah, so if you feel like someone's health is deteriorating around you, or is at risk maybe, or someone is not being themselves unexplainably, I'm even hearing sleepwalking here. So I don't know if someone has been sleepwalking or have been having more episodes like that in a home, or if someone is having a lot of very vivid nightmares maybe. But if you don't feel safe anymore in your own head, in your own thoughts, with this Knight of Swords reverse, and it's gotten out of handle, and if you feel like this energy is getting the better of you, or trying to scare you, or trying to even kick you out of your own home and sense of safety with this Empress reversed, it's time to show who the freaking boss is. And if it's too terrifying for you, then it's absolutely all right for you to call in someone who has the experience in combating that or chasing off these types of energies. But for sure, try not to entertain it by feeding it and by letting your fate down. Like, you need your fate right now. Power 4 is what I keep getting. You need your fate at this time, whatever it may be. And you gather your spiritual tools right now if this is scaring you. And you rely on those tools, all right? But remember that you are the one living and that this is your place. It's not this entity's place. And so you can knock that freaking window out on their face, like that freaking door. You close it and you lock it in front of them. You do that metaphorically, you do that literally, how you want it. So remember that this is your home. It's not this entity's place. And I truly believe in this kind of empowerment, because that's how I defended my own self in my life when I was visited by a darker, scarier entity. I don't know if some of you have watched my sleep paralysis video on the channel, but I'm used to that. So I guess that this is why I have a very detached outlook on it. But you do what you gotta do, Power 4, and I'm here to support you. But let's see if I can get into more details with the next cards. And these will be showing me the intentions of this entity and why they are lingering around you and your energy or around your place. And we have door. See, that's funny, because on our card here it said came from the side door. So there's a door here that was left open. We have mirror. Then we have key. And we have the 7 of Wands. And we have the Hermit. Oh, I knew it, I swear. This spirit is trying to harm someone here with the 7 of Wands. They may be concentrated on one person in particular for now, because the 7 of Wands, it speaks of 6 people coming after one person. So it's like their energy is concentrating on destroying one thing at a time, is what I'm getting. They destroy one thing and then they jump onto the next thing. And I knew it. What are doors and mirrors? Power 4. Doors and mirrors are spiritual doors. They're spiritual portals. So there was a spiritual portal somewhere that was open, either inside of your home, or it was open the moment that someone invited or brought that entity inside. Now, with this key, it says here above you. So I don't know if this is where this portal is situated at. You take it how it resonates. But with this key, I see that you have to find this door and you have to close it and you have to lock it. So this is a spiritual attack with the 7 of Wands here. One where the person combating it is feeling quite overpowered at this time, whether this is you or someone else that you're living with that feels attacked by this. And I don't know why, but I keep feeling that this entity is attacking what is living somehow. Like they are removing life force energy and power with this Empress reversed from people, maybe plants, animals, anything that they can find who has a dimmer or weaker light. And not in a sense that this person is weaker in any way, all right? That's not what I mean. But when we go through something tough or traumatic or difficult in our life, like something like grief or the loss of someone, the loss of a job, a divorce, or any big life-changing or disruptive event like that, or sometimes it can even be something a lot smaller than that, like sometimes we're just going through like a depressive episode, like we all do from time to time. But when it happens, we can find our light weaken. And when our light is weakened, we all become a little bit more susceptible to let those intrusive negative energies in. Just like how we allow more negative self-talk in, right? Or allow more negative emotions in. It's the same thing. So we become a bit more vulnerable to anything a little bit more negative. So know that this is not your fault or anybody's fault, but what I'm sensing about this entity is that they are traveling alone with this hermit. That's one thing that I've just heard strongly somehow. They have been traveling alone in the dark for quite some time, and they feel like a wandering energy to me, like an energy that has nowhere to go, like an energy that was just wandering in the dark. And when that portal was open, when that door was open for them to cross through, it's like that window towards their realm was open, and this energy was now free to go into this realm and attack more fragile souls who have their light weakened at this time, like on the Seven of Wands. You know, the Seven of Wands is speaking of 6 people ganging up on that one person, like I was saying earlier. And we could say that it's quite an unfair fight, right? Well, this entity is gaining strength from other people's weaknesses and weak positions or weaker spots. So you have to go above. It says here above you. You have to go above them. You know, the character here wouldn't stand a chance if it wasn't for the fact that they are on that hill here. So they have an advantage point to fend off these 6 other guys down below. So I feel like what this is saying is that even if they come from the underworld, even if they come from under than you, and they may feel more numerous than you, they may feel more powerful than you, it may feel like you're outnumbered, but you're at this advantage point, powerful, because you are alive. You are standing on the world, on that lane here of the living. That entity is trying to capture the bit of light and the bit of fate that this person here has left. But do you see the lamp that a hermit here is carrying? That's what I saw with that. It's like they are drawn to those with a dimmer light, the easier praise, right? Like with this Seven of Wands, because it's easier to capture that light for themselves. So this entity, they nourish on your fears, they nourish on your weaknesses. So if you want to fight them off, you have to show them no vulnerable spot for, like this person that is on top of a mountain, on that power position, right? And who is holding that shield in front of them. It's like they are saying, come at me, bitch. Like, I am protected. I am protected with my faith. I am also under the protection of higher, more powerful beings than you. So try me, come at me. Like it really reminds me, like this whole story here really reminds me of the experience that I had with my own haunted home when I lived in Australia. And I'm supposed to release that video soon for Halloween, by the way. But sometimes, you know, this experience taught me that sometimes they are those lower, heavier, darker spiritual entities that think they are stronger than us. But sometimes they just need to be put back in their own place. If you see what I mean, they need to be remembered where they belong, where they come from, who's the powerful one here, who's the leader here on this plane, and you have that strength. Like if you chose this spell, you guys, my Power 4, are this person on the Seven of Wands, on top of that hill. You have the spiritual, mental, and emotional power to fend off 6 of those energies coming at you together if you want to. You can fend yourself against a group of these energies, and it's all about reminding yourself of that, reminding yourself of that power, where you freaking come from, everything you had to go through and survive, Balfour, and reminding yourself of that power when you feel that this entity is trying to scare you in your own home or in your own bed. Let's see the list of words that you guys have received with the EVP. And I'm also going to pull some extra oracle cards for you guys to see how you may deal with that energy moving forward and help you defend yourself spiritually. Maybe how to close that portal as well as banish this from where the hell it freaking came from. We have here, burn away the past. This one fell from behind. It says, reveal your gifts. Yeah, reveal your power, Pile 4. See what else we can get for you. Spirit, how may Pile 4 deal with this entity? That's 2 cards. It said here, psychic touch and practice patience. Practicing patience. Oh yeah. Practicing patience with these types of energies for sure. I'm gonna keep these out for you and see if something else wants to come out. Otherwise, if nothing wants to fly off the deck, then that means that this is all we have here. Top power. Yeah, be careful of your thoughts, Pile 4. Be careful which thoughts you allow to get intruded in your own mind at this time. Because chances are it might not even come from you to begin with. So be really careful what you allow in. So the words that you guys have received are capability, Caroline, store, modify, chronic, frustrate, cure, mental, handle, architect, above you, fae, which is funny, and July. So this word of fae, like, it's funny because with this card of reveal your gifts, and do you see how like those 2 women have leaves in front of their eyes? I feel like this fae word came through as your energy, your essence. You're very powerful being yourself, Pile 4. And I feel that this entity here is terrified of you realizing it, because they can see your light, and this light is powerful enough to chase anything of that nature away from you. But like I've said, maybe that somebody brought something from the store that had kind of that energy attached to it with the word store, with this card of psychic touch as well that speaks of psychometry. So maybe you have been able to feel that something was off about that particular object. Maybe that you don't feel good vibes coming from it at all or around it. And if so, burn that motherfucker down, Pile 4. Excuse my language, but burn it. Burn it. Trust me. You prefer to lose that object than lose your freaking sanity. That's for sure. And with the words frustrate, mental, cure, handle, I don't know if some of you, if there's someone's mental health that has gone a bit out of hand lately, this could either be physical health that is deteriorating, or this is somebody's psyche that feels under attack, almost like they are not even in control of their own thoughts anymore or their own reactions anymore. But with this kind of burn away the past and reveal your gifts, like I keep getting fire magic and perhaps fairy magic as well, like maybe earth magic with the word that it was saying earlier. But yeah, fire magic is coming through very, very strongly here. Like working with fire, which is extremely powerful for banishing magic, by the way. And I was talking about banishing that entity out of your life. But making a ritual with a fire element could be a big weakness of this particular energy. You could have found its weak spot right there. And otherwise, top power, psychic strength. Protect your mind from getting under attack in any way that you can, Pile 4. And this starts by knowing that you're capable to deal with things as they come, like you have always been able to deal with any other shit that has ever happened in your life. So protect your mental strength. That's so important right now. That's the most important thing to remind from this encounter and this whole reading. Remain in control of your own mind. And if the spirit is trying to scare you off again, catch it. Catch it with your own mind and tell yourself that you won't fall for that same trick again. Tell it that. I feel that this one is actually easy to deal with, even if it's a pretty, even if it's the heavier energy from any other of the piles, like the darkest energy that I've felt so far in this reading today. I feel like it's one of the easier to deal with, ironically. It's all about owning your power back again, Pile 4, and harnessing your gifts, because that entity, they are terrified of you realizing that, of you realizing your power and seeing that your gifts will protect you and work for you against them. So use your power, make it into a ritual maybe, and be creative, because you can banish that right into the dark pit where it belongs. You have the power to banish that. That's what your cards here are saying to me. But Pile 4, I will be closing the spiritual channel with the spirit in a moment and cleanse the hell out of my space right now. But I want to take this moment to thank you for having opened up this space with me. Even if you're behind the screen, you are protected. You've got this. All right? Don't you forget that. I hope that this reading could bring a bit more clarity and a bit more peace about what is going on right now inside of your home or whatever environment you could feel worried about. And if you have further concerns, please write them down in the comment section for me, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible, okay? And I also wanted to say before I leave you that I am offering a wide variety of Halloween themed readings for Samhain on my shop, and so I will also leave the link to that down below in the description box if some of you want to be working with me on a more personal level. And otherwise, I shall see you soon in the next video. Bye, Pile 4. Take care.